Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to create 3 amazing DIYs using Dollar Tree items. Don't forget that next week I have a very exciting project coming your way, so make sure to subscribe. Well, now that has been said, let's get started. I decided on these Dollar Tree videos to recreate Pinterest pictures that are sent to me on my DM. And in this case, we are recreating a beautiful flower vase, and in order to do it, you will need one of these round vases that they carry. The second item that you will need is 2 packs of these glass pebbles that they also carry on the gardening section. The first thing you want to do is to extract the label, and a very easy way of doing it is by using a clothing steamer. It immediately comes off with ease. Once the label is out, the first thing that you want to do is to take your glass pebbles and you want to start creating a line from the very top all the way to the bottom. Once your first road is created, you want to continue adding more pebbles until the entire vase is covered with them. This method creates a very beautiful effect on a vase, especially if it has some light hitting it, and it also looks exactly the same like the one from the picture. Now, in order to complete this project, we will also be replicating the flowers on the exact color of the picture, and in order to do so, you want to have 2 bouquets of roses, and you also want to take these paints that they carry on the craft section, and you want to mix a lot of pink with a little bit of brown. And then you want to add a little bit of black to make the color look more smoky. Once that's done, the first thing that you have to do is to dismantle the roses. Now, this can be a little bit tiresome, but if you want to paint it correctly and you don't want the final result to look patchy, this is very necessary. It takes around 3 minutes to complete each rose, and once you paint all the petals, you just want to reassemble it back. Once reassembled, just give a final touches, and these are the results. You want to do this to each rose. This next step is optional, but I personally do not like green on my house, so I spray painted the leaves with a gold color and I let them to air dry. Once everything was dried, I just reassembled the roses and I arranged them on the flower vase, and these are the final results. I am very happy on how this turned out. It looks exactly like the one from the picture, from the color of the roses to the detailing of the vase. If you were going for that look, this is definitely a great way of recreating it and also an effective one. So hopefully you find this tutorial useful. For the next project, you'll need 2 of these dart throwers. You can find them on the kids section. And the first thing that you want to do is to spray paint them with a gold color. I don't show this on the video, but I also did spray paint a clear coat to seal it. Since it's plastic, it might chip away. Another thing that I did is to spray paint the top portion with a black color, and then I gently sprayed some gold on top of the black, and this will create some movement to the paint, and it will create almost like a shadow and a metallic feel to the final product. Once that's done, the next step that you want to do is to cover the base of them with some sort of crystals. Now, if you want, you can use the same glass pebbles that you did on the first project, but I decided to use these crystal beads instead. They're fairly inexpensive and they last for a lot of projects. I will leave the link for them down below. The first thing that you want to do is just to add a little bit of glue on one, and you want to twist it around the base and always leave a few drops of glue so it can stay in place. Once everything is wrapped, just cut the remaining beads, and for the next step you will need 2 of these glass mirrors. You first want to mark the center of it, and then you want to add a gentle coat of glue on the bottom ring. Make sure to not overly add glue so it doesn't spill. Once that's done, just hold it in place until it dries, and once everything is cured, these are the final results. A very similar candle holder was also on the same picture that was DM'd to me, so needless to say, these two items pair beautifully with one another, and truly you wouldn't be able to tell that these are made with Dollar Tree. I couldn't be more pleased. Now this next project is the one that I'm most excited about. I know that a lot of you are going to find this so useful, especially because it's so on trend. And basically you first want to have a doll, and the first thing they want to do is to extract the head, the clothes, and you also want to dismember the body parts so it's easier to cut them. After, you want to heat up a knife and you want to cut one of her arms in a diagonal pattern. This will enhance the final shape. You also want to take one of her legs and cut it on that same diagonal pattern. And once everything is cut, you can reassemble the body parts to the torso. Once it's assembled, you can now cut the last leg slightly longer than the one you cut before, and instead of doing it diagonally, you want to do it straight. This will recreate the very famous Venus de Milo torso shape, and that's what we're doing. We're recreating a mini statue of it. And the first thing that you want to do is to cover the body with a layer of white glue, and then you want to take a paper tissue and you want to press it to the body, making sure that the shape of the body is not lost with the tissue. And you want to continue this process. You just want to add more layers of glue and pressing the tissue hard so it lays completely flat on the body. You will understand why we're taking this step later on. Once everything is glued in place and it's nicely pressed, we can move on to the next step. You want to take this wall plaster from the construction section of Dollar Tree. And this is the reason why we first had to do a layer of tissue, is because this product wouldn't grip on the body otherwise. Now, even though this is made with fairly inexpensive materials, you're creating art with your own two hands, so it's something that has value beyond the material that is being used. I personally, even though I like how it looks in my house, I cannot keep it because I am Christian, and this is the representation of a Greek mythology goddess, so it would be considered idolatry. But I know that this is incredibly popular these days, especially on the more vogue Parisian look that a lot of people are going for, so I knew that a lot of people would find this tutorial useful. Once dried, this is how it looks. It feels nice to the touch as well. Now, this next step is completely optional, but I decided to add a little bit of paint to it so it has a more statuesque look. And even though the camera doesn't pick up the color properly, to the naked eye, it does do a huge difference. So I just mixed a little bit of ivory paint with a little bit of gray, and I did a gentle coat all over. While that is drying, we can move on. You want to take one of these windmills, and the thing that we want from it is the stick, so the statue has a base. And the part that we will take specifically is the one that is holding the petals. You want to take this part and you want to cut this chunky bit from it using the same heated knife from before. Once you have that, you want to take one of these cubes that they're carrying on the craft section, which is also a very good find. And the first thing that you want to do is to measure the center of the cube afterwards you want to drill a hole, and you want to do this so it has more support. Once that's done, I selected this beautiful wood stain. I will link it down below in case you're interested, and I stained the wood cube. Now, when you're staining something, the best way to do it is to never go against the grain of the wood. You want to follow it so it makes it easier. While that is drying, we can now add the base to the leg of the statue. You want to add a little bit of hot glue inside, and you want to place the stick and hold it in place until it's dry. For extra support, you will want to fill the entire leg with hot glue, and once you do that, make sure to leave the torso upside down so it completely dries. Once dry, it should be fully steady. Next, take your cube and select the side that looks its best to make it the front. And then you want to add a glue to the center and place the statue and hold it in place. And you can also add a glue to the sides to secure it in place. Once everything is dried, these are the final results. I absolutely love how this turned out. It's definitely a very on-trend and stylistic item that I know a lot of you are going to find very useful. Really quick, don't forget to subscribe to my sister and my bunny's channel. I will leave these links down below. Also visit my online boutique, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram to stay in touch. Well, now that that has been said, once again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I wish you a very blessed day. May God bless you, and goodbye.